Hello and welcome to Unikronn's Gaming. Today I'm going to be looking at Street Fighter Alpha 2, and from a perspective of a Street Fighter 2 fan. It might sound a bit weird if you think, it must be similar, but not necessarily so. But anyway, let's do a brief history on Street Fighter Alpha 2. It's also known as Street Fighter 02 in Japan, Asia, South America and Oceania. Okay, fair enough. It's a 1996 fighting game developed and published by Capcom for the arcades. The game is a remake of the previous year's Street Fighter Alpha Warrior's Dreams and features a number of improvements such as new attacks, stages, endings and gameplay features. It was ported to the PlayStation, yay! The Sega Saturn, yay! And Super Nintendo, yay! Home consoles globally in 1996 and later, a year later, later, they got a Windows port. It was followed by Street Fighter Alpha 3. Sorry, I almost vomited in my mouth there. I'm sorry. In 1998. Yeah, I'm not a fan of Street Fighter Alpha 3. I'm just not. Anyway, that's the brief history on Street Fighter Alpha 2. I'm gonna have to say Street Fighter Alpha 2. Yeah, this game, I like this game a lot. There's only one thing I actually hate about the game. It's strange that this game is a lot of emotions. It's not even like, oh, I like this and I don't like that. It's like, I know I love these parts and I hate this one thing. And yeah, that's about it really. And then one curious thing for the newer accessible versions of this game, which I found odd as well. But anyway, I'm going to be talking about Street Fighter Alpha 2. I'm going to be looking at it from a Street Fighter 2 fan's point of view. Things I do like, things I do love, one particular thing that I hate, and that's not a Street Fighter Alpha 3. I mean, I do hate it, but I'm not going to be talking about that with regards to Street Fighter Alpha 2. Street Fighter Alpha 2 is a wonderful game. A lovely game, in fact. Hell, even the first one, Street Fighter Alpha, is also a beautiful game. I love the custom combo system, not custom combo, the chain combo system in that game. I actually wish that they had kept it for Alpha 2, but, as a trilogy, really, the Alpha series was really weird. You could actually like one, love another, and hate another in whichever order you want and whichever numbered version you want. Really strange. But anyway, let me first start talking about, I'm going to say the thing that hits you first, the visuals. So let's get to it. So this was, I think, one of the first games that really showed me what Capcom CPS2 board could do. I was like, look at the sprites and animation. They were nice, big, chunky. Animation was great. The lighting, everything. I was just, more so than its prequel. It was just, this game. I mean, look just, wow. Just a phenomenal looking game on all accounts. I mean, great parallel scrolling. Yeah, to me, this game had it all. It was bright, it was colorful, a lot of stuff going on in the backgrounds. The artwork was very, very pleasing. Character designs were wonderful. Have I spoken about animation? Have I? I don't know. If I have, I'm going to say it again. Animation's beautiful, absolutely beautiful on the characters. Little touches from Sagat, when he clutches his chest, he does, and the little intros when you come up against a character that you've got like a bit of beef with. This is just a visual splendor. This is just heaven on your eyeballs. That's all I've got to say for this game. I mean, compare Sodom in the Alpha series to what he looked like in Final Fight. It's just leaps and bounds more preferable. Ken looks great here. The backgrounds look great. Even if we just look at the UI, it's not confusing. energy bars, nice and simple. The timer, nice and simple. When you're getting hit, your character next to the timer flashes. Little stuff like that. The super bars down the bottom. Just nothing gets in the way. It's just all pleasantly done. The insert coin, join now, your point system. Just the UI looks great. It's not cluttered. There's not tons and tons of stuff going on. It's still, and even the game itself is still flashy. Like the hit marks look great. They look much bigger, more out there. Look at the alpha counter. You can tell, figure, okay, he's spinning around. That looks great. Look at the flames when you're on fire. You still see the character, but they're on flames now. I just love the visual appeal. And look at Ken's background here. It's like, okay, guess who's who? There's Morrigan, there's Captain Commando. There's all sorts of characters from other games out there. So yeah, great. The level 1s, the level 2s and level 3 finishers have their own little flashy gimmicks when you finish someone with it. Everything just looks great. When you do the supers, the trails behind you look even better than they do on Super Turbo. It's just a really cool, look at the blue shadows afterwards. Just, yeah, really nice. Really great visual presentation here. I mean, look at the jet, the Harrier jet, just hovering in the background for Charlie's stage. Charlie! Anyway, yeah. No negative here to everything about this game, from the characters to the backgrounds, to the UI, to the just the overall presentation of the game. Characters selects, the endings, when you have your interaction with other characters, when you speak before a match. Yeah, absolutely fantastic. The announcer is actually good again. We've gone away from the terrible Super Turbo announcer. Yeah, this guy just sounds crazy. Love it. Okay, audio. At the time, I personally thought this, and I believe one of the Darkstalker games, was it the second one, Vampire Hunter or Warriors? No, whichever the Darkstalker. I'm just say Darkstalkers 2. This and that to me was some of the best sounding 2D fighting games at the time. I think they had X-Men and maybe even Marvel Superheroes, but I believe, to me, overall, Alpha 2 was probably the best when it came to sound. The hits sounded really sparky and splashy and had some depth and some bass to it. It wasn't just like you're hitting someone with a wet towel. It was really meaty. Especially like the Raging Demon. You're like, Jesus, that must have hurt. So yeah, that's nice. So the sound, the intro, you know when you're picking your character, da 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 da. Alright, I'm getting excited now, sorry. But yeah, loved it. When you do your specials, the little sound effect that it makes, yeah, just great. The character speech, all super clear, all super wonderful. When people are dazed, you get to hear the little birds or whatever it is, they make different sounds. That's great. What else is there for the sound? Yeah, it's just, I mean, even Dowson's voice with the yoga just sounds great. It's just the elephants aren't annoying anymore like they are in the Street Fighter 2 games, especially the home ports. There's just, yeah, it just sounds great. And the remix versions of the background musics are all fantastic. Yes, we know they're classic tunes, so you can't really mess them up, but they all sound great. I'm not going to say they sound better than Street Fighter 2 because, you know, they're just remix versions of them, but they all suit this game and give this game its own character. Sakura, her music stage is wonderful, as well as her background stage. But yeah, it's just, her voice just matches. Everything is just great when it comes to the sound. I will say, I think I still prefer some of the oomph that you get from the CPS1 Street Fighter 2 games. But this is a marked improvement over the CPS2 Street Fighter 2 game. So everything in Alpha 2 sounds way better than anything from Super and Super Turbo. But I still think Hyper Fighting or Street Fighter 2 Turbo on the CPS1 boards sound a bit more beefy when it comes to the hits, but this has so much better range when it comes to the voices and the specials and the hits. So yeah, even though it doesn't sound as thuddish, it's got better range, I'd say. So yeah, once again, sound is excellent. Birdie's voice, he doesn't sound British, but still, just great. And the Raging Demon, oh, love it. Yeah, it's just, you know what, this at the time for me was almost the perfect fighting game. Back in '96 when I played it, it was almost, especially the sound. So gameplay, I wish they'd kept the chain system from Alpha 1. Personally, I preferred that to this. This is much more similar to Street Fighter 2, but I think it was improved with Alpha 1. You can do still a little bit of links and stuff in this game, but it's nowhere near, as some might say, broken, or I would say personally diverse as Alpha 1. But it's still great, but not, for me it was a step down. So it's still better than, I would say, Street Fighter 2 games. But yeah, you couldn't be as creative from what I found. The super system I liked, and it's even better now because depending on your character, you've got a lot more specials available to you. Level 1, 2, and 3. Let's say, for example, I think is it Adon. If you do the level 3 and you continuously press attack, it goes into like these Honda 100 hand slap things at the end of it, which is level 3. Whereas if you don't press it, he does something different. So little quirks like that are really nice. I like the fact that the Alpha counter, you now have a high and low one, basically punch and kick. Whereas in Alpha 1, you only had one. You've got... you've still got high and low attacks, which are great. Not really anything for mid. Yeah, so that's a bit of a shame. So yeah, gameplay, it's just, it is a much, I would say, better and more refined version of Alpha 1. Definitely so. And you also have different versions of the characters now, which change the gameplay up dramatically. They're almost like a homage to the Street Fighter 2 versions. They're supposed to play similar, but they don't really play much like it because it's the Alpha engine. Yeah. The thing, unfortunately, I hate is the custom combo. I'm just not a fan of you activate it. I think it's like a punch and a kick together, and you just walk forward doing custom combos. The thing that I hate about it is that it gives you a large invincibility window at the front of it, which is broken to me. I just don't think custom combos should be in the game. Capcom was in love with the custom combo system they had in Street Fighter EX2. It was predominantly made its own ism in the Alpha 3 games and in Capcom vs SNK 2. He had his own ism in that, so they was really on this custom combo thing, which it's not, to be honest, it's not for me. I don't like it at all. I didn't like it in the Alpha games. Well, not Alpha, well yeah, I didn't like it in this. I don't like Alpha 3 and I hated it in Alpha 3. I definitely didn't like it in Street Fighter EX2. SNK versus Capcom 2, it was its own ism, and so yeah, it's just, yeah. But they was just on, that was their thing then. I don't believe it was in any of the Marvel games. I could be wrong, but who knows. But yeah, that was their thing there. So yeah, but I did like I said, the fact that you had different versions. So, I mean, look here, this is the chun-li that I preferred, and she even looked different in her outfit. So it's just, yeah, it was just cool. It's really, really cool. Gameplay, sound, and visually, just a beautiful game. Just really, really great. One of my favorite things about Street Fighter Alpha 2 is Akuma, because to me he's almost perfect. He's almost the perfect fighting game character. He's probably the second best fighting game character I've seen in any beat 'em up ever. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. If he was perfect, he'd be number one, but he's not. I mean, the odd thing about Alpha 2, Akuma is, to me, he has the worst version of Akuma and he has probably, arguably, one of the best versions of Akuma that you can pick, which is so strange. I mean, his standard default version, he isn't particularly good. He's fun, but he has the slowest raging demon. Even the Kara setups, I believe you can jump out of. Yeah, you can even if you don't see it coming, I think you've got time to react. That's how bad the standard version is. But joke is, he's still fun to play, but he's just so average. This version of Akuma, the air fireballs and stuff. I mean, I don't know where he is when it comes to tiers, 'cause I don't care about that stuff. But he's out of the Shotos. I mean, he's better than Dan, but I wouldn't say he's better than Sagat. He's definitely not better than Ryu or Ken. Or he actually probably better off picking Evil Ryu rather than this version of Akuma. But he's still fun. But like I said, this is probably the worst version of him in a game, realistically, or a game that's worth noting. Because I mean, like I said, the Raging Demon is unless someone's dazed in a 2-player match, you're very rarely going to hit it on them. It's just, unless that person just doesn't know how to play Street Fighter, because it's so avoidable. What I should have spoken about when it came to the graphics is the projectiles, the fireballs. Even the Shotos have different versions. Like Akuma's is a different color. Ryu doesn't have the hands in his. I think Akuma has like the flaming one looks different, and then his standard fireball looks very similar to Ken's, but obviously a different color. So yeah, Sagat's Tiger Shots looks obviously different. Nash's one-handed Sonic Boom looks very different. Chun-Li's fireball looks different, and Bison's fireball, yeah, a lot of the projectiles, obviously Dalsim as well, look extremely different. So that's another good thing. Yeah, so Akuma, he is probably the main reason why I love this game so much, because I just enjoy playing with Akuma in almost all games, and this is the first game that really brought him to my attention. It's like, yeah, I love playing Akuma. Like I said, this version of him, as he stands now, isn't the greatest, but here's the thing, you can be Shin Goku or Super Akuma. So let's talk about that now. Okay, disclaimer, on the arcade I never picked Super Akuma. I picked Evil Ryu for Alpha 2. I just assumed Super Akuma was there, and this is how you play as, well, even though they say Evil Akuma, they mean Shin or Super Akuma. This is how you're supposed to access him. So on my PlayStation, on the 30th anniversary, I went to choose him, obviously, because I want to get footage for you guys to see my favorite character at his, what I would call arguably one of his best versions. So, you know, I thought, all right, let me load up the game. 30th anniversary. This is Alpha Team 30th anniversary. To do the code, I'm following it, as you can see, perfectly. I haven't missed a beat. I haven't done anything. I'm following those instructions. And what happens? It's standard Akuma. And I'm just like, that's odd. Because when I first played this game a ton, it was on the PlayStation 1. And I had this game on the PlayStation 1. Loading was horrendous. But I had Alpha 2. And I picked Super Akuma. I know I did. I'm not going crazy. I'm old, but I'm not senile. So yeah, so I thought, okay, let's do it again. You know, second time. Perhaps I missed something, but I know I didn't. But like I said, I never picked him in the arcade. So I can't remember using him in the arcade. I know I didn't. I picked Evil Ryu and normal Akuma for some bizarre reason. Yep, there you go again. This is just standard Akuma because his pose at the beginning is different. Super Akuma throws out 2 air fireballs. He's faster, stronger. His endurance may be a bit better as well. So yeah, that's the normal Akuma. As you can see here, I'm thinking maybe third time's a charm. I'm not too sure what is going on. So yeah, so I thought, there was another way where I know, what would I do? There was another way on the home consoles where you just go to him and you would hold down, I believe, start or select, depending on your console, for about 5 seconds over Akuma, and then press a button and you'd also pick him. but none of that stuff was working here. And I'm not editing this, I'm showing you this in real time so you can see my frustration. Yeah, it just, I was trying and trying and trying. I was like, I don't understand what's going wrong. I started messaging Chowstar, Jazz Father. I started looking things up. I was just like, what's going on? I know I've picked him on my PlayStation 1. Hell, I know I picked him on the PS2. See, look, this is one where I was holding down for about 5 seconds. And it didn't work. And I was like, wait. Okay, I'm done. I thought perhaps the 30th anniversary version is bought. Perhaps there's a glitch in, I don't know. Perhaps it's the wrong version. So then I loaded up Capcom Arcade Stadium 2, which is where I got most of this footage from for all of the game of Alpha 2 here. So I loaded that up. And I thought, okay, I'll load the game. I'll load a save. And then I'll pick Super Akuma. I thought, yeah, I'll do that. Here we go. So, just load up a random save and then pick Super Akuma. Because I thought, well, maybe, just maybe, it could be something to do with 30th anniversary. The ROM that they used was something, it was perhaps a ROM that didn't have Super Akuma. I thought, okay, let's go and do, because obviously these versions are based off the arcade. These ROMs from 30th anniversary and Capcom Arcade Stadium 2. They're arcade ROMs. They're just emulated. So I was thinking, okay, here we go. Now let's pick Akuma. It was Super Akuma. I said, no, that's not right. This is just standard Akuma. I'm just like, what is going on here? And these are the two versions, like I said, that are the newest two versions if you own a PlayStation console at least. And you want to play Alpha 2. 30th anniversary and Arcade Stadium. There's no other way that I know on a PlayStation 4 or 5 where you can play Street Fighter Alpha 2. These are the newest two versions, the easiest two versions. The previous versions are all on older consoles, which obviously from a PlayStation standpoint of view doesn't help you if you own a PS4 or a PS5. So once again, I'm trying here. And I thought perhaps it was the button perhaps all those times I was pressing punches and I should have been pressing kicks. That doesn't make sense. But you know what? When you're at this point, you're trying anything. So I'm thinking, okay, I don't know what's going on. I think at this time I was trying to call Chowstar. I'm like, I know you didn't play Alpha 2, Chowstar, but you've seen videos of Super Akuma. And he's like, yeah, I don't really know the difference, but I can tell visually one's Super Akuma, one's Akuma. Because so I have seen him in Alpha 2. I was like, yeah, I'm not going crazy. But I was like, I can't get the code to work. And then I called the Jazz Father and he was like, but we never needed to do that code on the PlayStation 1. We just did the thing, we go to him, hold down, select for 5 seconds and press a button and Super Akuma appeared. Because he goes, I remember you doing that to me because I didn't know he was in the game and you was destroying me with Super Akuma. And I was like, how are you picking this Akuma? And I was like, oh yeah, I remember that story. And I was trolling you with Super Akuma and you was vexed because you could only pick normal Akuma. Anyway, I went into the game manual and it looked at the hidden characters. And as you see, they're telling me everyone is in the game. There's no Akuma. So I loaded up Street Fighter Alpha 2, the PlayStation version on my PlayStation 3. So yeah, so obviously this is the digital version of the game on my PlayStation 3. So I think I edited out some of the loading because the PlayStation 1 version took so long to load. But anyway, just to show that I wasn't going mad and you can be Super Akuma. I don't know why. Well, I think I do know why now, but I don't know why I couldn't pick them initially on the versions on the PS4 and PS5. But anyway, yeah, I'm sorry about the loading, but I wasn't going to cut it out. You was going to feel my pain. So yeah, so this is the PlayStation 1 version. And I think so, okay, let's do the arcade code. And as you can see, I'm not doing particularly fast. I'm just, look, I even paused halfway through it. And Here we go. And what happens? Bam. That is Super Akuma. That's Super Akuma. He's in the game. I knew I wasn't going crazy. I played with him so many times. He's even in the SNES version. Look, 2 air fireballs. See? Super Akuma. So he's definitely there. So I was like, perhaps maybe it was a console specific thing at the time. Who knows? But he's definitely there. And he's got a much faster Raging Demon. And it's much better. I mean, look at this. Yeah, look at that. Crazy. With his multiple colors. So I thought, okay, let me just go to him. And was it this the one where I held down select for about 5 seconds, then press the button, and look, you pick him. See? Both ways are in there. And this is a PlayStation 1 version, a port of the arcade. So yeah, he's definitely, and look, there's a pose. That shows you how different he is. It's much bigger and more epic looking. So yeah, so this is Akuma Unleashed. This was at the time we thought when he doesn't hold back. So yeah, so that was the PlayStation 1 version via my PS3. And now I thought, well, hold on. The best version that I knew of was the Alpha Anthology collection on my PS2. So I loaded up my PS2, and obviously I put in a disc. I went to Alpha Anthology. As you can see here, this collection, or this anthology collection, is really good. So many hidden versions of Alpha games and dip switches and all sorts of stuff. This version is the one. But I thought, because I'm talking about Alpha 2 and not Alpha 2 Gold, I'm going to go to Alpha 2. We're going to select it. We're going to load it up. And I'm going to see if I can pick Super Akuma in this version as well. Which I know he's in here. I've done it before. Even though I mostly used to play Alpha 2 Gold in this version. So there you go. Street Fighter Alpha 2. Anyway, yeah, so this version will look a bit faster simply because I sped it. I turned the speed stars up. There's so many toggles in this game, so I just wanted it a little bit faster. So it's almost like a super turbo mode. So yeah, it's a little bit faster, the music a little bit faster and everything. But anyway, that's the reason why this particular gameplay footage looks a bit faster and the sound is a bit sped up. Simply because I sped it up in the options, stars wise. Remember what you could do with the SNES and the Mega Drive? Speed for super. Yeah, I did it here. So yes, this is Super Akuma. Or if you play the Japanese one, Shin Goku. So yeah, look at that. Just negate whatever she was going to do. So yes, and then here's the other. Well, yeah, you don't even need to do that. You can do the arcade method, but you don't even need to. Here's my favorite color for Akuma, or this hair color, and he's in a brown gi. Yeah, so, and that's what I mean. I knew he was here. That's why it's shocking that on a PS4 and PS5, I can't. Nothing works for me to pick him. So yeah, this was Street Fighter Alpha 2. It's my favorite character from the game, and this is why I love the game so much, because of this character. Like I said, he's got the best version of himself and also the worst version, but they're both fun to play. Yeah, that's that. And the reason why I can't pick him in the other versions, because I don't think he was available in the arcade at that time, and that's the reason why. Whereas he was a home version feature. That's the only thing I can think of. But anyway, I just want to show you this match. This is Sagat. Because they took the background from the anime, I just thought I'd show you this match here. Because this is another good thing about Alpha games. It had special backgrounds. Yeah, so just a wonderful, wonderful game. Coming from a Street Fighter 2 fanboy, to me, this was where I wanted the sequels to go, and Capcom delivered in such a wonderful way, and I truly do love this game. My favorite Street Fighter game a lot of times is between this and Anniversary Edition. The only reason why Anniversary Edition pips this is because Capcom's own fault. They abused the alpha sprites. I just got fed up of seeing them in the versus games so many times. They just abuse the sprites. So yeah. But anyway, that was the reason why this particular game is not my favorite Street Fighter game, simply because later on I was fed up of seeing these sprites. Yeah, they did in what Capcom vs SNK 1 and 2, X-Men vs Street Fighter, Marvel Superheroes vs Street Fighter, MVS 2, MVS 1. Yeah, we kept on seeing them, and obviously there was in Alpha 1, 2 and 3 as well. So a lot of these sprites just got used and used and used. So yeah, but as a whole, as just for Alpha 2, yeah, if I just look at it separately, it's probably my favorite Street Fighter game. But if I'm going to play it versus with someone, I'm going to pick Anniversary Edition, simply because it just pips this. It just about does it. Just. Yeah, so that's my little, it was not a little video, this is about half an hour long, isn't it? Oh shoot. Oh, I don't care. I love this game, so therefore I'll talk about this game. But yeah, Street Fighter Alpha 2, I'm assuming everyone's played it. I really am. I mean, if someone says, oh, I never played this, actually Chelsea never played this game until about, I don't know, 7 years ago. He still doesn't really play it. But anyway, I would say if you haven't played it, this is probably the most friendly Street Fighter game to play that still looks good if you like sprites. That's about it. I'll see you in the next video. I hope you all are well. And peace out. Street Fighter Alpha 2.